Ekosiisen dwumadi esunie ene ne yedi twato afimpinu ene aduonu mienu Ekosiisen a yedi etwato nti yehwe afimu ni nyina niema akoso sese yepese yehwe yanim 2023 no niema yedi agu akwamebise sa abanyi kase o ye kɔ afimpinu ene aduonu miensamu a ne odi tu no ho yese manisu ade hunini mede akonmasika na ekoye ho adwuma eti yehwe budget no na yahwe say future no bright is in the pipeline and I say zena niema siko na mensa meba so ansa na no mamema honorable CID na wo ka bibi se niema amudi agu akwan mu no dɔɔso ebi ayeye nhu bi boba akumienu so ma ye na afei ye ntinsimu enko
ebi wa se nsɛm yi de ma bobo boso akama
sa niema mame hawo mame hawo
ya ketua so ya slash ya si mu bia ntukwan unless a emergency se bia se bia aban no unfasi ka bebiri mfa mebeto aban no so akwanto ebu ahu hia na ya ma watukwan na oni nam no
eno no ye ministers ne mo
all appointees
so
to ebe so tukwan ya no bia no ni ase
but there was an earlier instruction like that if I remember correctly
chief of staff at the by earlier kra
ebi chief so
no ansana betukwan so oje
former is it BA minister or say no ye MCU me fin the BB Richardson okoye ema eba sa oba vetting no ye bisa no ema no ho nkyeremu bebre eti ebi bufa soko
this one have grounds. I mean, you can't be an
but say o can work a bibi say unless say
na say
but bibi eti yenhwe say no ebe ye adwuma but enema ni bi ono mo a medwen ho anso ate say V8 die ya ye can say into V8 na fu ebi so ono ma me hu say light mu because V8 no nipa ni tim no de kwa na obi say o de ko he o de nam kran he da why na ebe monitor because enema ni bi ono mo a mimi hu kwa mbefa so amobeye o
oh say it is
really minor expenditures
no fool no
it's a fair point but I'm just saying say o shesi kana ye through other means you know if you compare that o the tutu sikana like the savings we are going to make by cutting down some of these things o the tutu sikana ye through other means na ye ntimi nkyere no way is negligible bon sikana be brebi wo ha e fa bebi a den na kunta na koye bisi basa enu so na mu yedu no but the savings we are going to make from cuts in travels and you know less usage of vehicles they are savings all right but comparatively speaking they are negligible.
I think the critical problem is this. You see drastic situations require drastic actions. But we are in a serious economic
microphone no one here
we are in a serious economic crisis.
And I'm in
You are in a serious economic crisis. Inti you want to be fiscal discipline. You want to be able to ensure say because of you are going to cut your coat according to your size. So you're going to cut down a lot of the reckless expenditures, the needless expenditures, and all the expenditures are really that are very much avoidable. What they are talking about, say print mark Christmas hamper, coupon, my brother. You see.
No, Atika can be said, and no can ba esusa. Eti ujidi say he fan and can never see a dear nisha. Oh, wait and keep in sika be free. Yes, meet you to crow.
Yes, here we answer the idea, Fata. Budget side, and say, no man, I was so cutting it down. What is the component? What proportion of your budget is it? Then look at other areas. Your wage bill alone is taking about 80% of your domestic revenue. Your wage bill alone. Jubilee House on a presidential staffers numbers you Google. You name Jumo Mudi or a number of ministers, new ministries at Nam Kroma. You won't fast will be a war. The areas where you can make significant savings, one yet what's men printed diaries, men check hamper. Cut down expenditures, men check hamper. So it clearly shows to say, maybe, just maybe, problem now you won't, as for mine say, really the people who are managing the affairs of the country don't appreciate the seriousness of the problem. You see, for 2023 budget, me say, our budget no more debate parliament. No, that budget is going to be the nail in the coffin of the Ghanaian economy.
Asempa FM.
Hey. Me say 2023 is going to be the worst year in the history of Ghana, of the economy. Ghanaians are going to suffer big time in 2023.
They are so now can't was me.
But you see, one of the things I've been here, and I wondered why, who made that proposal in that budget, is that 2.5% increment, ad valorem increment in VAT. As we speak, Ghana Statistical Service, the November inflation is about inflation, and I'm about 78%. Your inflation is over 78%. And when they say Ghana, the economy is managed on two fronts. The fiscal policy front, which is managed by the Ministry of Finance, and the monetary policy front, which is managed by the central bank. Now, the central bank's role is to use monetary policy tools like the policy rate to control inflation. Who are buying? Because there is inflation cost routine, that is why recently the central bank had to increase the policy rate by 250 basis points. Okay. Now, who are buying? When in the midst of high inflation, the central bank is trying to use monetary policy tools to maneuver and bring inflation under control. You, the Minister of Finance, you wake up in 2023 and say that you are going to increase a consumption tax.
I even disagree with the
a consumption tax by 2.5%. A consumption tax like VAT by 2, which affect almost everything, which is going to fuel inflation.
No, it's easy. You see,
now
it's the easiest to get.
You have the central bank on one hand,
Asempa FM,
using monetary policy tools to manage inflation, and you have the Ministry of Finance on the other hand fueling the inflation. We are so money fan and we are so fan of motion. Meanwhile, the central bank and the finance ministry must work in synergy to bring the economy under sustainable levels. And you see, when the central bank's policy and the Ministry of Finance policy is at par with each other, then you ask yourself, who is in control? So, what is going to happen is that the prices of goods are going to go very, very high in 2023. And there's going to be massive unemployment. Because when inflation goes up, the central bank will have no option than to increase the policy rate again. And when policy rate goes up, it means time and a policy rate about, I think, 19 point.
But I even disagree with the central bank increasing the policy rate.
I'm coming.
Because already people are not going to the banks for money anyway.
When it was about 19%, the banks were lending at about 30-something%.
I think 32%.
To say, a court 24.5, right? 24.5. So it means that the banks now the banks will be lending around 40-50%.
That's not. It will end.
See, but if at 19% banks are lending at 30%, now they call 24.5%. You see, so that means the banks are going to be lending around over 40%. Oko bank Bosia, interest 40%. So businesses are going to end up winding down. People are going to lay off. And that's the impact of Adewe Muye. And you wonder who is advising them. Again, and you know, your friend is saying, Echo inciting inflation. They say, Vice President saw the policy be about good for oil. And also, almost say, omo beto gold no, omo need dollars edito oil. Enti omo beto gold, edi cities beto gold in the economy. Now omo koton gold nenya dollars. Now the dollars no etia oil ka.
Is that the arrangement?
Yes, that's the arrangement.
My understanding is that they are not going to sell the gold, but they are going to value the gold.
That's a better
And-
trade.
It's not a bad. Okay, so
That's how it's
so
gonna
I was at the NPA. The NPA did a presentation. So the program is partly cash, partly barter. So part of the program, they say, there are some of the traders or companies who are willing to accept the gold
Yes.
as payment. That is what they say,
Yeah.
but it's not confirmed because up to date they've not been able to point out one company that is willing to accept gold as payment for oil.
But
Then the
Dubai,
second,
there's a confirmation
yes,
from
yes,
Dubai.
but that's what they are saying. And then the second aspect, they say, omobeton gold no menya hard-earned dollars, so that they can use the dollars to finance the importation of oil. Meanwhile, the can abai declare a debt default in the domestic market. Naturally, say, our domestic securities market is gone because of the debt default. People are not investing in the domestic security markets again.
Why?
Who is car? You say who is car?
Governments are not so government securities are different from private securities.
No.
And in the securities market, it's not only government securities that are
hold
sold.
on. When there's a debt default, when there's a debt default, when you declare a debt default, the overflow is that it affects the entire securities market. So say obia woni sika on fankoto any security.
It is government bonds they won't buy.
Not
It's government securities they won't buy.
Is it the bonds? The bonds.
And your government,
It
is just government bondholders who are going to suffer.
All the other bonds, nobody will buy.
Hey, no, that's
Who is going to buy?
That's
Who is it? Your friend say omo to fixed income or Ecobank ni other places are omo nya haircut. Who is it card to obi? What are you saying? When you declare debt default, the overflow is that it affects your securities market. Anybody always a guy in this right sense say or because say or go invest in any securities in this economy.
I disagree.
You've been downgraded by all the international all the international. Your friend is saying banks are omukode jebosi akura de bre Ghana bank kura no fetch ni Moody's are downgraded or munyina okura ma omukode say they are all having issues. So the problem is that you've declared a debt default. Now, when you say you're going to use gold, buy gold in a domestic market, into who the cities to gold from the local market. In economics, a very big money supply. So once you buy the gold from the small scale miners and the traders, you increase money supply in the economy.
Not necessarily.
Oh, Atik.
No, I disagree.
Atik.
You see, money's okay.
Hold on. Atik. When government pay contractors, does he increase money supply in the economy or not?
Not necessarily.
Oh, Atik.
You see, every fiscal. Okay,
analysis. What is money supply? So I buy a term Bank of Ghana, any PMMC, any beto gold no. A term cities. Ekoto gold free small scale miners. Why? There will be money supply in the. They will increase money supply in the economy. There will be money supply in the economy. They will increase liquidity in the economy. And so when you increase liquidity in the economy, and there is no accompanying productivity, you fuel inflation. That's number one. Number two, when there is no asset class that is going to absorb the excess liquidity, the money or the excess liquidity will find its way back to the currency market. The mipa change and say, "Oko small scale miners who to go 20 million Ghana cedis free or now man 20 million Ghana cedis. Now bank investment companies in the banks in the investment sector how no when investment be no attractive within the sikan beko kwishim. Sikan so than chance sikan fan beko form. So I don't know by or better 20,000 they are dollars are good them. So into war program now 1 year say you want to manage the exchange rate, ensure say you reduce the impact of the exchange rate differentials on the export price of fuel. No, war through your increment or your injection of liquidity, excess liquidity into the market already. By the time only one transaction, now one kasa through your excess liquidity have depreciated your currency by about 60%. So the point is that any policy you ask yourself whether they sat down and done the proper modeling, the impact, how those policies will impact on the market.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, ocean policy on just one side, we're making a mistake. A bank want to solve one problem, which we all appreciate the problem. Say indeed, the dollars and I say the exchange rate, has huge impact on fuel prices. It is a bank to me eliminate exchange rate impact now. Okay, it's a fantastic idea, but the solution they are proposing is wrong. The solution they're proposing, especially the way they want to do it. They are almost say assembly and they are not engaged. Oh, I mention
hey, nothing to do. Also, kind of my alternative.
I mention alternative. Alternative. You can't feed so. Oh, make a rock. They are only to me or the bay.
That's how more to me.
If you say,
I'm so much.
Question and beside was say, "Ye quiet in 2023 no." If say a near my dear Google from budget no mono, a beboy, what point in near me no, where the car VAT dear, and I would oil for gold so Abecan who say, Nadia say beboy. Eti Nanka would jiddy say, Cassine was here yeno.
The gold for oil no, my presentation the whole. Omoba may presentation ma
why a presentation
never meant to feed so and cancel.
No. Because Debbie. And I think amortization at my financial management.
Go for oil, no.
Honorable Mensa.
Go for oil, no dear.
Yes, I say, who send him Missicano says, CSOs no, Moboa.
Yeah.
It is a way a show, but Tom Nancy say one name.
Debbie say, yeah. In fact, your friend is saying, time I call MPA for MPA presentation, in fact, we raised some of the issues that make kind of video. I raised it. Mustafa Ahmed was there. You can call him, you can attest.
It's dear, you know, the man Mustafa said, I was here, couldn't say. No,
and I'm saying, if they reach out, if they reach out,
publish it.
If they reach out, we'll be willing to share our recommendations with them. But the point, you see, they should do thorough stakeholder engagement. The piano, you see, opening sin suma and son our ham. The piano, Mudimonizing soon movie. Mudimonizing soon movie. I think so, let's say a family. Nothing, no, I say, any Ayakasari children, I say, a woman sooner famo. But that is not what we all want. We all want the problem to be solved. So when you do proper stakeholder engagement, now say, and people have recommendations, they can recommend to you, and then that recommendation will feed into your program.
Yeah, that's it. Ebusia Mensa Thompson any attending kano asepekuo no na oda ano na mekai se ochna news file enyagro se ne Ekosiisen dwumadie yede eba awie ya fimpino ene aduonu miensa no nyame ya domo a echna Dr. Yaw Pebi global CEO ya chese woda hub group ano the hub group ano oka ho special prosecutor Kisia Jabin ochna news file owoso sadaso ena education minister Dr. Yawaduchum owoso openi Roland O Akosa ewoso wono ye entrepreneur owoso ena openi we mekasa mempena sema namboa Nigeria mura onso ka ho nka Nigeria mura onimonyamfo Abraham Juma Odum okay no aha Nigeria
no is that sin no MP
MP wo Aguna area ho no be hefa a timokwa
tufu atumakwa ya ana okọ
Nigeria
Nigeria sana my friend he's a fantastic man fantastic he was a deputy minister before
yes Abraham Juma Udu meka ho ochina news far or yes Professor Raymond Atugba eka ho etichina piso na Rosie Finn Ghana country director Emma Mastercard Foundation also eka ho na Constance Elizabeth Swanika also Swanika so eka ho yeah eti nyame ya adomo a ochina news
for ambassador to France right
yes
and UNESCO
yes ochina also
superb composition
eti ochina shia lawyer Samson Ladi anyenni ewo dwumadie no eso ochina kama agbeve heba center yedomase afimu nyina masoye mu na afenu kwawie ye no mo de enuro mienu na abeka ho agbeve stress tea eno na sa wo ye adwuma na wo bre na sa wo no mo a na mo wa hoden na ade atoa so na ne etoso mienu o de stomach ulcer duro so ebaye venous gota mesrew ye bia discovery for no mo de aba eti we agbeve tonic agbeve fever mona soap mona creamer ya sanso e de stress tea no abeka ho eti mesrew ya wie bia ha wo no wo wonim so tuom wudu so tuom last stop ho no mo a ba bia tasi rank no wo no wonsa abusan kese bi si ho ho ne agbeve heba center wudu environment anye bi ne radio hospital de no mo ye no kama nsuo wo ho radio hospital na nsuo ni ho na hade nsuo wo ho na Africa Queen de machew ne wo de ebege dada machew se ye ka mo sa wo ye jollof Africa Queen mackerel ka ho na safari tissues enei tissues no ye wo bia ne se ne sitie covid ba ye ne ye hu se handkerchief de atwam se tissue first na mema no tissue no mo de show mo trousers na chi na say sika na hye wo na tissue say eno atwam we tissue na wose da bia bi wo ho ti hanky no wanhwe ya no atete yawe so op tissue no ne ye chi nsuo pa safari tissues ene ye woni chi row wo ho no mo ene ye woni adisi gya akese no akese ne nketua ni nyina ebi wo ho meso wo shop bia no se woni safari tissue se wo mu a wo shop no niema a woton nyina na ese woton mi ni bi mesrew kwaje safari tissues ni bi na wo pendudo mo atwa fa 0307 001975 0307 001975 wo fra ya ye bejo so na adibia bro kama na Ghana is commission say yemfantro atiefo nyina anim say holidays ya manfo adi aka new year no na ye bedi mesrew se wonim taduembo ha condom taduembo ha condom se condom no ebi ni wo ho a enkodi agobone yade no enkoye yenim se antiretroviral drugs no wo hono mo a na ebetumi asoso ano nanso de na efese wonamo na ade wa ho den namo mesrew se wobekwa akodi agoro no de a condom no mabi emen wo ne ma de wo ho na oba ni yusu ne de na yenyusu tu no mum oba no yusu de abema na odo de na to ho se bema so na wusu a na oba odo de ato Ghana is commission empenim for say memmo bia nka yeso mo mama fishia pa na emom se enka ho a se condom nka ho a ene natural ho ena ko from plus adawroma ene se wo bowa weda ne se ne asia ye no wano aba ne ye friend dry cough na wo minimu hyehyewa wa hwe ya ahomekura nsi so wunya ko from plus a adura this year epeno yedi etu ewane kata ni bibia ase eye ko from plus mesrew nisi farmer davroma odi bia badwa so ko ba bi eton waduro bia ubetumi anya bi ena say malaria so na hawde a lumatrona we any malaria duro no ye won kwala de ne ye won panimfo so de wo ho no mo eti wo pani wo gye de a na wagye oba no so de e de ama no frɛ 02083056676 02083056676 ofra ya lumatrona ena ko from plus ubenya bi wasi wudan ya wie na wobehwe asempa ye studios ase ya ohun se ne asi aye decoration no e wo soro no ne ya ye Nova plaster fo adwuma no ade we ya ye first nanka ye de plywood ni aye ye ne ye sheda ye designs ankasa e wo dan ne so nti obi to na ni hweso ho no mo a na wahu se eni bie e na ade asi wo dan no plaster boards ahoro Nova plaster bege bia ma wo ceiling no so opese oge ne modern one a eno so Nova plaster be ne kama de ama na niema a otumi supply bi cement boards acoustic ceilings obeye ama POP cement wo bi wo ho corner mo se wo ho 3D PVC wall panels e bi wo ho galvanized profiles e bi wo ho abusia se ceiling na wo body a Nova plaster for twon mesel for 026 680 5827 and as 0505598 so freya ni ajo so my life insurance say insurance na fee ye besimu 2023 so be insurance my life insurance enye my life kase no way so we are record hospital na do say you pa na wuniska na hu say asem na ya na wo ye my life insurance ni bia ye ma 15,500 insurance no kakra bi na abetua wo na ade aye mesro so person tia se yi a ene no dial *165# *165# o dial ya ye bet your registration kwan ye wo so fa so eye no kama ma me nko atik so na atik 2023 ne ebo ye nim enema ye betumi aye a ye bekoyie na 2022 die ye hu bi
Just some quick points of disagreement with you know, Mensa kind just oil for gold for oil, or can say it might end up worsening our exchange rate situation. I mean, the problem with the exchange rate situation today, is supply driven. And it's just like any other market. When you go to any market, be it capital market, goods, product market, whatever market it is, price is driven by demand and supply. So in the same way, when you go to the forex market, the exchange rate, which is the price of currency, is also driven by demand and supply. And the say forex be bri wa a my exchange rate, ecoform. But say we need forex be in circulation now. Just say dollars kitwe bankrofo bebre ne here dollars. That is when you find the exchange rate rising, because that the price, which is the exchange rate starts to shoot up because bankrofo bebre here dollars be endorse. And when you have such a situation, now one of the reasons why there is the shortage of forex in the market, and it's ye DB eko tom fango. In fact, almost all the transactions in the petroleum sector are dollar denominated. Or more transactions will be dollars munomwe. What you say? Enti yento fangono abonti in cities. In fact, as a matter of fact, our currency is even inconvertible. In principle, over the West African monetary zone, in principle, it should be convertible in the other 8 members of the West African Monetary Zone. But in Nigeria, Nigeria, Krana Kita cities will be in few. But ideally, Nanka, we should be able, in principle, to spend Ghana cities in Nigeria by Nigeria. And apart from what track Tekukra, say Tekuna, never. Epuno, good. Who try a Pukra, who try Puna cities now, Sabi, Mr. Meka, now useless. Until you have to buy all that you need to buy in dollars. And because we don't our currency is inconvertible, you have to buy a third what they call a vehicle currency, which in the energy sector is usually the dollar. Until we mop up Sikana already the shortage of forex, so dollars no ye nibu. But the cotton fanguna SS dollars in kitchen our system no mono, they akoto, which further worsens the supply situation. And if there is a scheme that would allow us to leave kakrana ewo hanum no, but rather sell a commodity which we sell anyways, but rather instead of saying bema sabi, I almost said glamsy for on your tutu those who are into mining, instead of saying we allow them to go and sell their own gold, take their money and do whatever, no, the central bank, together with the fiscal policy authority, we need to have an arrangement as a way of dealing with the incessant shortage of forex in the market. Instead of saying, you better pay up dollars to go and buy crude and other related petroleum products, yemfa commodity mumko, which is in high demand in most of the countries that are oil producing. Until we exchange that with oil instead of coming to take your dollars, ye desire nebeko. So PMMC, which I have had issues with, because as a woman then you make money. That is how come people can just take gold out without passing through PMMC. The act doesn't allow that. Who gold at Tom, but people, unless who are licensed, but a lot of people just traveling to Ghana, they go straight to wherever. They find a way to take it out.
So I think, what is your disagreement?
My disagreement is the fact that when you say the gold for oil is going to worsen the currency situation, I disagree.
What?
And that is the point I'm coming to. It is not so, because it is going to allow us to leave dollars in Kitwana Ewo Hanum without having to mop it up to go and buy crude.
I think you are making the analysis based on the exclusivity of the exchange rate market. The exchange rate market is affected by other market conditions, which includes the investment climate of the economy. If your fixed income market is crashed and people are not investing,
no, that's a different argument. I'm talking about specifically the gold for oil. I'm dealing with one issue at a time.
I'm saying that. I'm saying that. I'm not saying that the gold for oil itself is a bad policy. That's not what I'm saying. No. What I'm saying is how they are doing it is going to impact on inflation, because one, you've declared a debt default. Your local currency market, securities market is gone. So when there is money supply in the economy or any excess liquidity in the economy, that excess liquidity will go back to the currency market. Mind you, the currency market. Okay. People do investment. People buy the dollars as an investment.
I know.
Na se me ni any fixed income security be me invest sika no wom. Na se sika no edam hoso a inflation is eating the money away. I will go and buy currencies, and
that is if you anticipate
pressure on the currency.
Okay, you are making this on the assumption say the currency will continue to lose value. Because same one is if the currency starts to appreciate, how is
the currency going to appreciate? Gymnastics now.
Let me. Can I explain something?
You are making inflation over 60% of your currency is appreciated.
Oh, Nyabutre. You see, you are making your argument on the assumption that we are going to be on this trend of, currency depreciation. But that's a wrong way to do the analysis. You can't make such. It's a strong assumption to make, to begin with. Secondly, this argument says once central bank decides to buy gold, it means there's going to be an increase in money supply. Not necessarily. They are not buying it from Sebi, the Galam. Why do I keep saying Galam? From Crawford Muton Gold, They are not buying it directly. They are buying it from PMMC. Mind you. Nyabutre, I'm making a point. Hold on.
That is not what they say, though.
But central bank, how are they going to buy the gold from small scale miners? How are they going to do it? It is PMMC that is licensed to sell gold. So these are official bodies. They won't go directly to the.
Again.
Okay.
Who has the gold? That's PMC mine gold.
But they buy the gold.
They buy the gold with cities, right?
Can I explain? If you exercise some patience, you get the point I'm trying to make. PMMC buys the gold. Already, it's not like they are going to get. Until central bank supplies more money, hold on.
I think you are getting it.
Can I explain something?
You are getting it wrong. It's not about central bank supplying money in the economy. It's about the purchase of gold.
Can you, if you allow me to
because
the money they are supposed to pay to PMMC, they are not going to pay it so that it will be in circulation. They hold accounts with central bank. The money will be lodged in that account. It's not going to be in circulation. The point is, you see, you are making the assumption that one central bank is going to purchase gold, and one say they will push money to PMMC, and PMMC in turn will push the money into the economy. There will be excess liquidity.
I think who mines the gold? Who has the gold? Does PMMC mine gold?
They have money already. It's not as if they need money before they can do the purchases.
They are the regulatory.
Yes, but they'll buy the gold from miners, right? The people who have the gold, right?
Yeah.
When you buy the gold, won't you give them money?
Of course.
Where does the money you give to the to them go?
So Nyabotre, when you buy the gold, when the PMMC buys the gold from the miners, Central Bank will pay PMMC. And I'm telling you that it's not like they're going to give them the money so it gets into circulation. They have accounts. They'll deposit that money.
Don't pay the miners.
No, hold on. You see, it's not like every fiscal year, agency be a sika. They've already budgeted sika on Beye, like they are going to spend. And if they use that money to purchase and Central Bank pays them, and yes, go and pump it back into the system.
Oh, I think you see,
it may be used only in the next fiscal year.
That's why I say,
and that does not amount to an increase in money supply.
Maybe I think Mensa Thompson there all can say Sikano. Say omu ebeto gold PMC asema ye ken no ombeto gold ne free o minus no honomo eti ayeden ya ombetua omoka eti minus no ne omudi sika ne beye no no nani hwe wono say
minus this sika no beye that is even reinforces my point. Whether Central Bank buys it or not, they are going to sell it anyway.
I take
that doesn't amount to excess supply of money and an increase in money supply because already there is money in circulation. You see sika wo hodada say PMMC
demand. I think, hold on. Do you know the demand for?
You see whether Central Bank NATO, Central Bank on the dollar,
the BDC's pressure on dollars alone every month is about $400 million. Bank of Ghana finances them by about $120 million. The BDCs have to go and find the rest on the market. If the BDC's pressure on the market alone every month is $400 million, how much gold do you need to sell to be able to raise that money? So that means that you have to increase your local production of gold.
That is why I had a problem. Good.
You are going to buy more. You are going to pay the miners more. They are going to give them more money.
You see, Mensa, so okay say minus no ensa kesika no muntumi nye investment na say nunti ombeto gold when nun investment
so they'll start spending. You are assuming that the very minute they get the money they'll start spending.
Dollar no so omo to dollar ni gu ho no mo a ensa chayi intimenti dollar ndede bi e be koso sa
you see obia o trading in a currency market no say every investment has risk.
Of course.
What you see is the same way Uncle Fako top bonds amaboke. But but the difference is that in the currency market, you have the dollars, you can keep it for as long as you want. Open now beton. Say dollar call for me. They are waiting for the price to go up before they come back to the market. So the point I'm making is that when you have excess liquidity in the market and there is no asset class to absorb that liquidity,
you are assuming that the purchase of the gold will lead to an increase in money supply.
Any rocket science?
No, you are making an assumption, which is a strong assumption to make, that the very fact says Central Bank better gold no necessarily will translate to an increase in money supply. I'm saying look, and you are also making the point say, once on Crawford ton or gold no. What it means is that you start spending. There are two things when you have resources, revenue, it could be profit, whatever it is. If you have income, there are two uses for income. Either you consume or you save. You are making the assumption say once
small scale miners no. First no, they say no, ton gold no. At mind you, gold is pegged at dollars. They sell the gold at a price denominated with a dollar, the same dollar, 10 years. And at first, no, obey the product now come on $20.
What do you mean, Franco? This is the PMMC.
Or the 5 p.m. or $5
p.m. I want to see this. This is what smuggled and our license.
Some people have license to export.
How many of them?
But some people have license to export gold. Some sell it to PMMC. The point is that gold is a dollar-denominated commodity. And its price is determined by the world market price of gold. And the World Bank of Ghana and America say this program policy no more. One we are auto gold numpo we. That's one other problem we identified in the policy. Say auto gold ni we are gold no. Yeah, the global price of gold ne and market. What auto we What's the transaction window? Is 60 days. By the time I go to Yanona, gold prices have fallen. Now, what are you going to do?
That's the risk. You see, what if it goes up?
Again,
you see, a business is higher than it here.
And that is what solve a problem. You see,
You have very strong assumptions, and you see when
you
you
are trying to solve a problem.
Ebusua Ekosiisen dwumadi esuni asempa 94.7 FM. I think to asuna sima ye na menko.
You make an assumption that is very strong. When people are trying to model scenarios, you relax assumptions to make it closer to reality. Oh, what can I say? You are taking one side. So, omukona, what if the price of gold goes down? Omatono at a certain price. Omukona eko for mbeboka. What if omukona eko sore?
Because gold is a volatile commodity.
Every commodity gold is volatile. Let me now the petroleum swear.
So in the last 24
petroleum is called volatile.
So
exactly.
That is the reason why.
Exactly.
That is the reason why gold is a volatile commodity. Oil is a volatile commodity. So you central bank and PMMC, you want to absorb the risk of two strong commodities at the same time.
No. They are not trying to absorb. You see, who are gold? The point is just to stop the attitude of always BDCC. You made that point, and I'm very happy you did. Say BDCC omuko tomu fangono, which is dollar denominated. No more and say, yeah, dollars in kitinkiti war system no. They come to they buy all of that to go and buy, and what near central bank and say instead of say be ma mo abet to dollars na ewo honum no ye the gold be kwa kwaginem na ye the gold no asisa oil no, so that the little dollars we have will stay in circulation, because there is shortage of usually to sasika no nyina na omodi kwa na the shortage of dollars among for no mo China, people demanding it are higher than the market can supply. Now our exchange rate akosoro. But if we have a situation whereby central bank is taking the risk of saying okay, instead of say be more bet $2 na ewu no, ye the gold mum ne be kwa jina, I don't know, our word is not the right word. Like ye the to strike the butter, so that the dollars in circulation will not be taken away, so that you keep the exchange rate fairly stable. I think it is a reasonable practice, and it's a novel practice. Look, it may be if what he said, Obiaye Bibi said, and it failed.
You see, that is not how they are doing it.
No, where else are they doing it that they are doing it differently? Where are they doing it that they are doing it differently? Let me see where. You see, you don't just speak. Where are they doing that they are doing it differently? No, even and I think, sir, sometimes my issue was I raise concerns. Now, my concern is, can we have enough volumes, gold, to be able to do such transactions?
Exactly.
That is which is a legitimate concern to raise. And that is what I spoke about. And if that is our concern, we can deal with it. Okay, gold. That should be but to say but I doubt, sir. In fact, I do not agree with the proposition, sir. This program is going to increase.
Gold is not a renewable resource. Gold can get depleted. What happens?
Now, it's just like oil. The same. Oil too is depletable. And as a matter of fact, because of climatic issues, people are even saying that we should shift away from using fossil fuels.
That's it.
And it's not an argument.
Yeah, that's it. Atik Mohammed and Yatenen Kano. Mianko Amansia South, if he said, gold, dodo na hone a free bar. Eti
enemy no bedin kom
the constituency
enemy no bedin kom
ada wonte
there be o
nanso galamsey no edoso enne ha adwen no
oje bia na
nya no kure
masa na ye die
odo so my
everyone very there say me Philip tools kakra bi wo the mensa kan no o say mensa asem na o kan no I just say yama o glass of water enyema na bia wo half ubetimi aka say a half filled and I say a half empty and he has chosen to say a half empty but assembly nyina say analysis na wo ye no say mensa pa say enye enyema kakra bi na afra ne nyema na wo yi numu a anka analysis no ka wo ordinary so behwe baby am betwe agyen so my adwuma kokko board pen o man mu cocoa farmers ɛdɔɔso kyɛn gold miners me bo ana sɛ ɛntro sika yɛde to gold yɛde to cocoa every year ɛdɔɔso kyɛn sika yɛ pɛ sɛ yɛde bɛwura
Asempa FM.
Gold for oil no
syndicated loan
yetimi kwa giagi 2.5 billion 2 billion ama kra
I have a cocoa. It doesn't
ama kra na 1 billion.
No, I'm just asking a question.
Everywhere. And your thought idea way
It's a similar arrangement.
No,
they take dollars and pay them in cedis. It doesn't lead to an increase in money supply.
Everyone else no, give me a diesel engine.
Dollars was so anyway, yeah. Man to us, yes.
So, everywhere, your thought, you the syndicated loan. Abba or my mother to cocoa. Every farmers, cocoa buy no. And why be na ye good, ye very good, ye view. Also, ye were over cocoa industry no. Ye were licensed buying companies, LBCs. And then I been your PBC, we been your Olam, ne one. Omuno say your syndicated loan, the Bakuku board got the bar. Omu quite in Babaji. We are licensed to buy cocoa. The only company I want my moi a license to sell cocoa outside Ghana, a cocoa marketing company.
Yes.
It's when you have a cocoa. One also was casting there now. What the beba cocoa marketing? It's you scan over Jeffrey Yeho. Yabo Bosia. No cocoa, what the aquacoto. Every farmers no. Na wabu ano di bi free ayi krom ma na wasaba beto ma ye na ye but oh say
it's a similar arrangement.
It's a similar arrangement. Now the question I want to ask Mr. Thompson is say over the period I lead to inflation and answer lead to excess
money supply. And then I make a chance hold on.
The syndicated loan come in dollars. You don't take the syndicated loan in cedis.
The gold is valued in dollars. The gold is valued in dollars.
Hold on. You see, more makes sense, no man.
If you are near to us, so the Germany to us,
cocoa syndicated loan, they buy in dollars. Bank of Ghana has the dollars, and then give them cedis, right? And so good.
Very good point. Yes.
The Bank of Ghana gives them cedis. So even if money supply is in the economy, the Bank of Ghana has the dollars that can circulate, that can increase the supply side of the exchange market.
We are talking about you were speaking about money. You see,
why you were
talking about M1.
Good for
Central Bank. They have about 3 monetary aggregates.
Only I think Mr. Munimo yes headset to say
everywhere. Good for oil now, Yakano. Mr. Thompson, as a researcher and a policy analyst, what na hacker say there's a barter system and there's a system payment in Suoma cash flow beba. Now you gold if your money call Amanoni Akoton, Yakwaji cities abana. And certainly dollars never jabba. Dollars no so bad, it will go back to BOG. The
money supply we're talking about M1. There are about 3 different monetary aggregates. You were M2, which is forex, money supply of forex. You were M1, which is just our local currency. And it is only we were talking about stage.
You see, because you're subjected to your basic understanding of economics any there penna me no ensusu me economics student and some all Canadian and the cocoa board analysis
it's not
okay the difference is not the difference
it is not
monetary difference
it is not
I'm interested to learn
it
is not similar
okay
let's see
cocoa board who gold. Sorry, Mr. Cocoa.
Yes.
What you saying? Afibia no or a bank of Bobosia to come and finance the purchase of cocoa. It's Bosia no amount in dollars. What you saying? Now what to go friends of cocoa near the in cities. But it gives you it gives you what? The dollar.
So the transaction medium here is cedis. Let's underscore that.
It gives you who are buying. Every year, cocoa syndicated loan is one of the things that are buying to manage our currency. Because cocoa syndicated loan, one time number is cocoa syndicated loan, $20.
No, let's stay.
The point is that
on point.
cocoa syndicated loan, a bar.
It comes in dollars.
A bar in dollars.
So
what it means is that now Bank of Ghana has the dollars to finance a lot of our imports. What you say? It reduces the pressure, the demand pressure on the dollar.
What are we talking about? Are we talking about? Okay, all right, me too.
We go for oil, no. Already there's an existing pressure, which is about $400 million.
Talking about inflation.
Pressure. No.
I thought you said this will result.
You see, one thing about economic policies is that they are all interconnected.
So which one are we dealing with at this point?
They are all interconnected. We are dealing with inflation. We are dealing with
the point we are making is that you have made the point that which is fair, that when there is an increase in money supply, it results in inflation.
I told you, sir.
It's just
on this issue.
Your point, your analogy is way on point.
Abusanfo mi enko ye di bronya bre say de mo mi enko mensa mensa ya me ya domo a new year no mo hu
$2 billion now $400 million
Abusanfo ya damasi o ya damase ya mamo afishia papa ya de honorable CID ya kwato asukodi ubronya no ya damase
free to disagree.
No, I disagree.
No, yes.
Me nyaboche na me mensa Tom say Atik munim ene de ye de besi ha na argument no sa gold for oil ne mensa see difference wo ti ye besa beto so mensa yemfa nsia na me na ma
we have a solution.
Honorable,
this is a good solution. Look, trust me, it's a good solution.
The approach is wrong.
Yeah, damase papa
ask NPA
honorable
and boss.
Honorable,
they are buying how are they doing it?
Me mabuso ba. Yeah, a day dear birthday, a day dear Brunya Pike first. We say, I buy off your honor. The birthday, no. So I don't remember me and Sans and Obin Oba.
Oh, nice.
You know, nice at 31st December, dear Brunya. The young watch, if you have a year, then to cut about a bank. In any better and I have to Eddie. No man would you twa.
Eno kwa du baby ya mano in advance ya mana official papa ya da musoma se empanimfo ya da mase mensa Tom saying microphone no very sensitive we ya hwe ya de we nyina abekọ de na medamase papa mamu nyina so official pa ya da mase 2022 yi no maboa yen ene Ekosiisen adwumadie eso Philipos Ebonso manhene kwabna sante me ameka ho Dominic Sieboa kwakutwum Justin Tiamwa Queenster Japan yeto nsafre mo a mobeboa yenyankopon enhia mo papa 2023 so no ene economics for no na mobile ye beto aso na yahwe ne ebekwa akosi ebehwe se budget no ebeboa ye because minority for no so bo mo ho aba so saa o ya de ya save o miniska
in what respect why you true vote
almost
made the got to abana na hu bibi omude fa
we crowd almost say omo bon cheni no ebi wo honom kra majority for no and try kra say bi wo honom a ye de beba ama ya je ho achinyepo eti niema ni bi wo honom omutimi etwitwa so eti we are hoping say 2023 no yebehu more of say
there's going to be austerity in 2023 amount for look trust me IMF program Ekosiisen is just to force us to reduce expenditures amount for hubechirom until let's condition people's minds to accept say
headmaster
Abai will not spend more which means in person because but ebedin kakra until let's condition people's minds to it. Otherwise, when you make people feel say, oh, 2020 na then they are disappointed. More money as they say, 2023 is going to be a year of austerity.
Yeah, call IMF on Kwan.
Massa, Sentina Yekono. When you are seeking credibility, you are telling the markets, say, IMF is of course is a reputable body. Omona, Omushe, so Ama Yankra, Yeshe, Huso. And who show Huso in the economic sense, not just say you are going to cut down on your expenditure.
So Katia, and you fought IMF fought when your baby.
Oh, a program now called G, so it becomes like Mikoji program. Exactly. Of course, you went for the program, and Obia Betias as a program. Okay, under Professor Mills, when they went for the extended credit facility, there was a net freeze on public sector employment. It is because public sector employment increases your wage bill. Everybody knows that. As you employ more, you are paying more work, compensation goes up. Until the same thing, 2023. Let's condition our minds. And you better, sir.
Yada empenimfua wada Access Bank so ano enhyehyeye omode aba no Access Bank for say so wakatua no emma ya wutumi ebaji wakatua no mu fa wutumi di kan no wakoje fa wakatua no ba fa kan na ye de amawo we wunya ne ba bia Access Bank for nko modern banking na adwadifo so yetumi boa mo papa mo a adwadie nkuma no Access Bank so ba ye beso wasna gbeveheba center ye da wase Broly Africa stress free insurance so a obetumi aya emfa ha bia emrew na ye wo Safari tissues papa Consolidated Bank baby a wudu sika to a one wo nenam one wo neko Ghana is commission etayechi Nisi Farmer Kofrom Plus and Lumatrona and wode abedwa so Franco Trading Enterprise bronya chede no ejeje mu den eti ye chawade otwade ne achawade abusuafo yedamase sa companies enwuma mota ye chia fimu nyina Franco Trading Enterprise My Life Insurance Nova Plaster yedamase Safari Tissue yedamase Consolidated Bank yedamase Ghana is Commission Nisi Farmer Rocksters Roofing Sheet Systems and Ecobank Ghana Obapa Products Monogram Agbeveheba Center Access Bank Broly Africa yadamu nyina sesafi moni yen ehwibo mu nyame ya domo a ene ye kramu we Ekosiisen adwumadie so ane ye kra se yebesi yebesa hia afefoforo mu na sie yebehia nyame enka ye nyina ye ho na yemfamo ensia team ni nyina yedamase Philipos Ebonso omahene Kwabena Sante Dominic Kisieboa Kwakutwum Jackson Tiamoa ena Queensta Japan newcomer ya wabeka ye hu udin de sen oba mame mame wusua wa hu mame wusua so abeka ye ho no ode ye bewie afe no eti mame wusua so ye dase se social media no ode ye to so ya santo ate ho wo ne yi mampani ne nam ho anso wabetena se ye mudin abusua ya santo Elizabeth se ye munidin enti maboni din o se ya santo a nyame hira wate Elizabeth o se memfa bebe ne nkanidi ho abusua memamu nyina fishia pa yedamase pa nyame ennom na onche yenkwa na afefoforo no yemfa hoden ensim megidi yesese ne Ekosiisen adwumadie ye hya ase ye no afe ne yebeboa wo usika semu wabra bom sane obesi atoto wo niema afa no kakran yede wo beko ama wahu sane niema ebesi akọ eti eneidie eheya ena yedemo sie midin ede akua boachewa yadom omahene Kwabena Sante ene hye adwumadie no ase ena medemo ebewie ye team no nyina yedamase madamase mammo anitia abusua munyimfo na yemfa ensi hase ya medamase papa